I did not expect this. It's kind of like where you feel like hopefully the person that you're talking to feels bad enough to like give you an apology for like the messed up thing that they did. He didn't feel bad. He dropped out. In my heart of hearts, I was kind of hoping that this is an awful feeling. And I'm not even going. I didn't pay tickets. I'm not calling Frank Ocean fans stupid. Y'all really don't deserve this. Like, this is crazy. And before the legion of Frank Ocean fans come in and tell me, we should be okay with anything and everything that Frank does because his brother passed. Condolences. Frank deserves time to grieve. Quit meat riding, okay? It's a literal sea of people who won't get the chance to see Frank this weekend. So while Frank deserves time to grieve, so do the people whose pockets will never be the same after this tragedy. Some of y'all probably gonna be stuck out there because you ain't got the money to fly back. Poor business decision on your part, I know. But at least if you was broke and you had no way back home, you could have at least saw Frank Ocean still. You know what I'm saying? You'd have been homeless and you'd have had to do some strange things for cash while you was still out here in LA, but you'd have had a story to tell. Now you got nothing. Apparently the reason that Frank Ocean and his team gave for his absence and why he would not be able to perform this weekend and the remainder of Coachella is because of an ankle injury. And the internet didn't take too kindly to that because there's plenty of examples of artists going on and performing against their injuries regardless. Tyler, the Creator, performing in a cast, I believe, at a Pitchfork show not too long ago. 2 Chainz performing in a wheelchair. Michael Jackson. The singer was reportedly advised by doctors not to perform after suffering 2 fractures and a sprain in his left leg. This guy. This man right here, 2 fractures with the sprain. Got it. Following his performance last week, Frank pulled out of his scheduled headlining set. And that's crazy. That's the craziest part of this. You're the headliner. It ain't like you a B-side performance or you're up after everybody else. You are the headliner, the main event, being replaced by Blink-182. Now, I like Blink-182. They cool people, but they ain't Frank. I'm trying to listen to White Plus Pink, not see it. Just imagine a world where you fly across the country to go see, I don't know, Kendrick Lamar, and then boom, last minute, here come Nas. I just hope people don't treat Blink-182 crazy. I really hope y'all don't throw nothing at the members, bro. I really hope. On doctor's advice, he will not perform due to 2 fractures and a sprain in the leg. It was chaotic, Ocean said in a statement. It sure the fuck was. There is some beauty in chaos. Where? It isn't what I intended to show, but I did enjoy being out there, and I'll see you soon. Soon to Frank Ocean is probably another decade, bro. We not ever seeing this man perform live, and if you do see him perform live again, will the show be good? Pitchfork has reached out to Coachella for further comment. Ocean set on Sunday, April 16th, featured reworked versions of songs from across his discography, including Novocaine, Pink Plus White, White Ferrari, Crack Rock, and more. There was a new punk version of the Django Unchained outtake Wiseman and a cover of the Willie Nelson penned Aretha Franklin song Nightlife. He addressed the crowd, hinting that a new album was in the works and paid tribute to his late brother Ryan. There was controversy surrounding the set. We talked about that earlier this week. Fans have been anticipating Ocean's headlining performances at Coachella since 2020. When he was announced as one of the main acts before the festival was canceled for 2 years in a row due to the pandemic. In 2021, the event's co-founder revealed the news that Ocean would headline in 2023. This marks the 2nd year in a row a Coachella headliner has dropped out. In 22, less than 2 weeks before he was meant to perform, Kanye pulled out. I don't really know what to say here. Me giving the examples of other artists performing in not the best medical condition isn't to say that Frank should throw his health away for the sake of his audience, but let's be real, bro. Your mouth still work. Let's stop playing games. I know that sounds crazy, but come on now. And again, this wouldn't be such a big deal if it were handled with a bit more professionalism and consideration. I'm sorry, I wasn't able to get this out there to y'all. I wasn't able to perform. I wasn't able to fulfill my obligations. I know y'all been waiting on this show. Since I released my album 6 or 7 years ago, I know you've been waiting to see me on stage since hearing talks of me performing at Coachella since 2020. I'm going to give everyone who bought a ticket some type of merchandise. I'm going to promise another date. I'm going to try to make up in this area, in this area. Bro literally got up there, performed a subpar show, left, announced a few days later that I'm dropping out of the thing altogether. So anyone who flew out to see me or extended their flight so that I would be here to perform a better show, if you hope that I cared enough to perform better the next weekend, all I got for you is a peace sign saying that I enjoyed my time out there the first time around and I won't be coming back. That is insane. I don't really expect much from Frank Ocean though. Let's assume that I did believe that he was injured. I'd have to take into account the fact that all of his performances up until this point haven't necessarily contained like that much energy, have all pretty much showcased him singing while standing still, not really needing to or requiring much energy in terms of him moving around the stage that often. If I were to consider or entertain the idea that Frank was genuinely injured, I would pretty much look at the idea of him performing as an impossibility. Fact of the matter is, I just don't think Frank wants to perform. And that's okay. But as we said before, don't agree. I remember that Camp Vlog show back in 2000 whatever, where Tyler brought out Drake and everyone who was at the show just knew that it was going to be Frank Ocean. They booed Drake off stage. They booed him and said, bring out Frank. Now, years later at Coachella, Frank finally comes out, and this is the show that y'all were given. And you know the messed up part about it is Frank doesn't even have songs that require him to do that much outside of vocals on stage. He legit can perform sitting down. He legit can just play on the piano while he's performing. You don't even have to move low key. He's the type of individual or artist who can sit at the edge of the stage, feet dangling at the end with a guitar in his lap and just go. I'm not saying that takes no effort. I'm just saying it doesn't take much movement. For the sprained ankle to be your excuse is another slap in the face to these people. It's like, I think y'all are that dumb and that gullible, not only to pay to come out here to see me, and I can give you a subpar performance. Now I can dance on stage in front of you and 2 days later talk about how I sprained my ankle before you saw me dancing. And you'll believe me. Hey man, this is the situation y'all are in. I hope things get better. And what's messed up is there's no way to make this up to y'all outside of giving you money back, which I know for sure ain't gonna happen. So rest in peace to your pockets, because if you paid any type of money, any type of dividends to get out here, see this show, see Frank, have a good time, only because you want to hear him perform, sorry friends, you're getting empty pockets, no Frank, and Blink 182. And while this does put a sour taste in my mouth, I do think it sets up a kind of strange precedence going forward. How do you as a Frank Ocean fan respond knowing that this is kind of how he does things from time to time? Do you want to still support him? Do you want to still hear the music like that? Do you feel confident in purchasing his merch and going to see him if he does shows in the future? I mean, if I'm a first-time Frank Ocean fan and listener, and it's my first time possibly seeing him live, and this is the first impression, it does not set up a good relationship moving forward.